What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Coming to America. I'm Quinn.
And I'm Daisy.
And a little bit of a different episode today. We're not doing any food, but we're going to be discussing Daisy's work because, as some of you may know from listening to our podcast, she saves animals for a living. So we're going to, have some video from the location where we filmed a little bit as well this past weekend. Daisy's probably just going to tell us about her awesome job just saving animals across Texas. So, Daisy, what is Texas Humane Heroes?
So, good question. Mm-hmm. Texas Humane Heroes is a private nonprofit organization with 2 adoption centers in Leander and in Killeen. Our mission is to save animals from euthanasia across Texas and find them their forever homes. We also really want to educate the community about training. We offer training classes and through community events and through training events. We also have low cost vaccination and spay and neuter clinics. So we offer those veterinary services at a low cost, affordable rate to make pet ownership more affordable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of different services on offer there. And then what exactly do you do with them?
Like me as my job position. Role, yeah. So my role is a marketing and an events manager at Texas Humane Heroes. So I do a lot. I do all of our social media. So we have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and a TikTok.
Yeah. And what are those handles?
Oh, they're all at Texas Humane Heroes, one word, except for Twitter. Twitter is just TX Humane Heroes. Mm-hmm. And you can find us on all of those social media platforms. And I manage all of the social media accounts. So any of the posts that you might see are mostly things that I have been posting about or content that I have kind of created. I take photos and videos of a lot of the animals that come through. I post our rescue intakes because we get different kinds of animals in every single day. Mm-hmm. All the Facebook lives, all the Instagram lives, pretty much all of that stuff. And then if we have any big events, which isn't a lot right now because of COVID, I manage all the logistics and figuring out everything and raffle prizes and things like that. I also, promote via social media. I also do work with like local news stations and local newspapers to get our name out there even more. So we're on like all the local TV stations here in Austin. What else do I do? Oh, I send out press releases if that's needed. Yeah. And then I just work to make more connections to get our name and brand out there. And I also manage our brand to make sure that everything that we post or that's tagged with our name is something that we want to have out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just, consistent with the Texas Humane Heroes branding in general.
Yes.
But then going back to your mission to saving animals from euthanasia across Texas, obviously, more recently, we've discussed like the hurricanes and everything down south. But you've gone on a few of these kind of rescues, intakes, where you've gone out to get these animals. What is it like? Because you have to get in the car and actually drive there. It's not like they're getting flown up to Killeen or anything.
Yeah. So we work with quite a lot. I think 30 to 50. I can't remember the exact number, but we work with a lot of shelter partners across Texas, whether they're, down south by the border in Rio Grande Valley or like up north or closer to Louisiana where they were affected by the hurricanes. Or in West Texas. We try to save as many animals as we can from euthanasia across all areas of Texas, and we work with those shelters. And then we have volunteers, or we go there ourselves, and we drive all the way out there, and we save some animals, and then we drive them back, and then we get them all comfy in their temporary home, make sure that they're all vetted and examined, up to date on all their vaccinations, and then if they're not spayed or neutered, they will be spayed or neutered by our program, and then they will be put up for adoption pretty soon.
Yeah, so it's all, taken care of once they're ready to be adopted, like they're all vaccinated and everything like that.
Yeah, all of our animals are spayed or neutered, and they have a microchip, and they're dewormed. They come also with 30 days of free pet insurance and up to date on all of their vaccinations. Puppies, because we can adopt puppies out at about 2 months old, they still are not fully vaccinated. So then we would give you a vaccination voucher to come back during our low-cost vaccination clinic, and you will get that vaccination for free.
Yeah, and that's just purely because of their age. They're just not old enough to be vaccinated.
Yeah, they'll be old enough at 4 months.
And so how far, what's the furthest you've actually, Beaumont, I think probably, what's the furthest you've gone to kind of rescue animals?
Oh, gosh. I know I personally, whenever I went with our intake manager, our farthest was Beaumont, which is about 4 hours, 4.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And then we had to drive all the way back. But I think that they've gone all the way to the border in the past before, like 6+ hours.
Okay, geez.
I know recently we went to help other shelter partners with the hurricane, after the hurricane came, to help our other shelter partners, just because they had so many animals come in from the hurricane that they were just really, really, really busy and they had too many animals and things like that. So we helped them out, and that was a lot for the 2 staff members that we sent, because we sent those 2 staff members out for a week, and they worked a week straight helping them. And then they were able to rescue some animals and bring them back into our care.
Yeah, which is awesome. How many animals do you think, I know like some weeks obviously are busier than others, but how many do you think you would take in a week? Because I mean, even just following along on your Facebook posts, it's like, or Twitter and everything, like Texas Humane Heroes today saved 25 animals. And then like 2 days later, Texas Humane Heroes saved, another 15 animals or something like that.
I think it varies, but I would probably say at least 50 a week.
50?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
I would probably say, it depends. Some weeks we probably maybe max do 50, and then other weeks we've done like 115.
Okay, geez.
So
yeah,
it just depends on what our intake manager is able to find and network with the other shelter partners. And then also because we have low cost spay and neuter surgery days, it's public animals as well as our own animals. It depends on if our intake manager can help these other shelters and what's going on with these other shelters, as well as what is happening with our staff. And we try to pull as many animals as we can. We are not an intake facility, so we don't typically take animals. It's very, very extremely rare if we take animals from the public in the community, just because we are not a government shelter. So we don't have we don't have like the permits to do that on an everyday occasion.
Yeah.
So we take them from other shelters who do euthanize for space. So all the other shelters will like reach out to us and be like, hey, we're like at capacity.
Yeah.
Is there any way you guys can save some of these animals? Because stuff is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, naturally most shelters are going to be resistant to having to euthanize any animals in general, because the whole mission for all animal shelters is to save them. So, but just to kind of wrap up, 2020 in general has, despite everything that's going on, has been like a fairly successful year for Texas Humane Heroes, right?
Yeah. We have been pretty busy. We have thankfully been able to remain open during 2020, just because we are on 20+ acres in Leander and then 10+ acres in Killeen. So we have plenty of distance to space out and abide by CDC protocols. We have specific sanitation protocols in effect. Our staffs are wearing masks, as well as we are asking all the public to please wear masks. So we are thankfully able to still run. It was a little scary when COVID initially started, but we have just been extremely busy this year. And we actually, last year, we had adopted out 3,100 animals. And this year, we met that goal around mid-August.
Jeez.
So
a lot of animals going in and out.
A lot of animals have been adopted, thankfully, and they're all going to their forever homes. And it's great because we get to see some awesome updates. They tag us in a lot of stuff, and we get to see them with their wherever families, whether it's like playing with children or they're out on a hike or things like that. It's really good. We have also seen tags from a couple of Instagram accounts that happen to be our dogs that we adopted out. So now they have like their own Instagram account and they tag us and things all the time. They use our hashtag, and it's just nice seeing them going out for a hike, or they're sleeping on the couch, or they're playing or whatever. So it's a really good feeling.
Yeah. And then speaking of social media, like, of course, and, you know, not so coincidentally, since you started, the social media for you guys has obviously been incredible in terms of numbers and more people following. And like you said, people tagging you guys and sharing your stories and everything that's going on. But yeah, just to wrap up, where can people find you for Texas Humane Heroes across social media again?
So Instagram and Facebook is at Texas Humane Heroes, all one word. And Twitter is at TX Humane Heroes. And then you can visit our website to see all of our adoptable pets, and that is humaneheroes.org.
Awesome. So hopefully everyone enjoyed this episode. We learned a lot about Daysi and her work and, you know, just saving animals across Texas and probably across the country in the not so distant future, I suppose, at this rate. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I've been Quinn.
And I've been Daysi.
And remember, it doesn't take a cape to be a hero, just love.